Hi everybody, Carol here. Welcome. Today I'm using this beautiful paper to make a card. It has sheen and shine and glimmer and glitter. Just beautiful. And I went ahead and cut out these pieces that you'll see where they go in just a minute. Actually cut too many on this, but anyway, and then I will use the Tombow glue on it, Tombow Mono Multi, and set it aside to dry, and then it becomes repositionable. Now this is a 7 by 10.5 strip of paper. The score lines are 1.5, 3.5, 5, 6.5, 8.5, 10, and that leaves a ½ inch left over for tabs to glue together, the sides together. So I make one long strip up and down with that's 1.5 inches and 5.5 inches, and you'll see those there. And I'm showing how you take that where the 10th inch score line, that's what goes at the top when you go to do the longer ones, and you do stop at the 4th score line, which happens to be the 5-inch mark, which is half of the card, because it will end up being a 5 by 7. And that little 1.5 at the end just shows those are the strips that will be left, 1.5. So again, the glue to set aside, and then I measured where that 5.5 mark is, and I'm going to have to cut that piece off. But I started with my trimmer to get a nice straight line. I don't always cut as straight as I should, and so but then I didn't want to overlap or cut beyond the line, so I left that much to just be finished off with a pair of scissors. Now this piece of paper makes the front of the card totally open and visible, and you'll see that what I end up doing with this piece of paper, I didn't expect to, but I got an idea. So that's the halfway mark of the card, except for the ½ inch tab at the end, and you can see those scores for the tab. Now what I'm going to do is put these strips, this will be the inside back of the card, and I'm seeing what these strips would look like with a white background. And then I thought, well, I've got this beautiful piece of paper that's sitting there, that's the measurement of the opening. I'll see what that looks like. Need to change the score lines to be valleys, and so they'll glue in there. I did go back and trim a little of the edges off, but this is what would happen if I put the strip on that paper, and I like it better for a background. The top and bottom will be covered up with the overlapping flaps, so it all worked out. So before I glue these down, which I will put some glue here, and I wasn't sure how much of a pull there would be on that closure, so I added more glue than I normally would. And then I'm going to glue that other piece on the back that will fit exactly in that center slot. And so it has had time to dry so that it can be repositionable. And you can see a little slight bit of white on either side just to be sure it closes properly. And so then that is what the strips are going to look like. And you'll be able to tell this is an 1.5-inch strip, and then this is the 2-inch strip. Those are what those measurements were, 1.5 and 2 inch. So I will go ahead and close this up for a reason. I wanted to cover up those tabs that are on the inside of the card. Not that it would show so much, but just in case it did. And so then put that in there. We're going to go with the little 1.5 pieces, and then the 2-inch piece. And I thought, which one looks better? One of those strips you can tell is a darker color, the edge of the page. So I thought, okay, let's put them on opposite sides. I'll put the dark one there at the bottom, and already you see what a base this is and what possibilities that you could take this all different directions. You can write your note on the back. You can put a separate sheet of paper to write notes on. But now here comes the acetate piece. I cut it slightly shorter than the entire 7-inch strip there, and glued it to the back. And this is you can see me mashing it down there to the back of the front tabs. But I'm doing this because I have stickers and I want something to stick them to without closing up the card because I've got it stuck to the back. And so I play with these in different positions. Those are all going on the acetate, and there is some overhang, and you'll see what I do with the pieces that are sticking out beyond the acetate because they're still sticky. Then I put this one actually on the back part of the card, free from the acetate, and it's making a background there. This is the same way. It's sticking to the back paper, not the front paper. And playing with the positioning. You can see how loose that is, and you'll see it better when it stands on its own. Again, played with the positioning. And just only leaving that in there just to show how much versatility there is. And you play with it. I just want to encourage you to do that and do what you think looks good. Now the little one, I stick to the front. I have to go back and trim. You see one of those little stems is sticking out, so I trim it off. And I couldn't decide the top daisy, whether to leave it under the header or not, but you'll see what I do. Now I'm cutting off a little strip of paper to cover up that sticky mounted tape. Here's where I'm going. I thought, let's try the daisy on the outside. That's the one I decided to go with. And voila, there it is. It got done pretty fast. I'm speeding this up a lot, as you can tell. But it shows the dimension, the flowers that are stuck on the background to give even more dimension. That's what it looks like from the top. And it is totally mailable. If you do it in a 5x7 envelope, you do have to tuck in all those little pieces that are raised up. So it just takes a second to maneuver that into an envelope. But I just think it's an elegant card. I love it so much. I want to make another one. Hope you'll be back. I want to make some versions of this card. And now, if you don't want to cram that into a 5x7, which it fits fine, but if you'd rather have more space for all the thickness, this is just a much larger envelope, and it works fine too. It fills it up pretty well. So there it is. Thank you so much for being here. Be back soon. I hope to have some more out soon, and I hope you enjoy this and we'll give it a try. It's really fun to work with. So have a great, wonderful rest of the day, and see you soon. Bye-bye.